And we are back in the room. Yes, we are. COVID passports. It seems everyone has got a bit of an opinion of their own. It seems everyone wants to have their say and everyone wants to be heard. There's arguments for, there's arguments against. And to me, it seems like those who are arguing against said COVID passports are those who are the loudest, those who like to inflict their opinions on everybody else. Well, personally, I don't really give a shit whether we have COVID passports or whether we don't. If we do, I will comply. If we don't, I don't particularly care. I do what I can to stay COVID free. I have been double jabbed, in spite of all these anti-vaxxers trying to convince me otherwise. And, you know, their opinions are, in fact, their opinions. And I don't hold anything against them for having different opinions myself. I don't hold anything against them for believing the things that they truly believe. But what I do hold against them is for them to try and convince me that I am insane, that my sanity needs a check because I'm following legislation. Legislation, sorry to tell you, is there for a reason. The NHS is there for a reason, and there's people who say, "Oh, there's no such thing as the virus," blah blah blah. There's no such thing as this. There's no such thing as that. We don't need the antivirus, etc. Absolute crock of shit. Absolute nonsense. What are you saying? That the NHS is just built up of a bunch of people, however many thousand people or more so are in the NHS, and they're all, you know, they're all trying to brainwash us into believing that this is a fake virus and we don't need an anti-vax. That is absolutely ludicrous. And I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is, what really sort of grinds my gears is everyone's got opinions. Everyone is entitled to them. That is fine. I appreciate that. I respect that. Everyone's got their opinions. Everyone's got their beliefs. That is absolutely fine. I've been on a bit of a roller coaster myself throughout this whole COVID journey. First of all, I wouldn't go near anyone. Then I was like, sod this shit, I'm going out. And now I'm a bit more, let's take things a bit more serious again. You know, people are getting ill. Even people who've had the jab, all right, are getting ill. And that's another argument that people come up to me with. They're like, all right, well, so-and-so's had the jab. They've been jabbed. They're still not very well. What's going on? You know, so obviously they didn't need her in the first place. But, you know, it's better to have it than not to have it, surely. They're not as ill as they would have been without it. But anyway, back to the COVID passports. I was talking, a neighbour of mine had a visitor a little while back, all right? And the visitor came around and they were talking COVID. I was putting some washing out on the line, so I was in their field of vision, so naturally I had to sway in. And they said, oh, he's had his jabs about me. And this guy who didn't know me from Adam, all right, didn't know who the hell I was. I could have been some lunatic for all he knows, you know what I mean? Who really doesn't like being argued with or put down. Thankfully, I'm not. I'm rather placid as it goes. But he says to me, he says, you've had both jabs. I'm like, yep. He said, oh, that's your freedom screwed then. I'm like, why? And more so, why are you telling me my freedom is screwed? Surely I've had my double jabs. That's my freedom opened, because by having the double jabs, we were told we'd be able to go out, we'd be able to do things, we'd be able to live a normal life and put up the fight against COVID. Now, it's a fight against COVID. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to get it, all right? It's a prevention measure. Is that right? Is that the word? Yeah. It's a measure to prevent COVID, basically, not a master cure. All right. So the jab is there, like the flu jab. You might still get flu, but you've got more of a fighting chance of not being on your ass when you get it. But he said to me, "Oh, you're a government. You're controlled by the government. You're a puppet." It's like, well, sorry. And you're controlled by all these anti-vaxxers and whoever else has brainwashed you into believing that there's not a problem in the first place. I'm sorry, but there's no way on earth that the government, and don't get me wrong, they're not squeaky clean, the government, all right? You've got to be corrupt to be a part of the government. I'm convinced of that, okay? And I'm by no means a government yes man. Far from it. In fact, the Tories can. That's another story for another day. All right, don't like our government at all. But in order to govern the country, there's no way that they're going to be putting chips into us, microchips, via this needle. They're going to be tracking us via this, etc. All right, so a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this is the government's way. They've orchestrated all of this to come up with like the single currency and everything, the cashless currency." There may be a bit of that surrounding the outside of this box, but think long and hard now. This is a big, big task, all right? This is a big, big task to orchestrate, and a pretty damn dark way to go about orchestrating it if that is what they've orchestrated. Bottom of the line, though, guys, what I'm saying is the vaccine passport, all right, you're going to have to get jabbed to have it. Getting jabbed isn't such a big thing. There's no trackers in there, I'm convinced. There's no nonsense in there, I'm convinced. A lot of people say, well, it's too soon. But if science has brought us to the dance, if science has brought us to this point, why is it too soon? You know, I'm no scientist. I will never profess, pardon the pun, to be any sort of scientist. I'm a podcaster, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a wrestler, I'm a scuba diver, I'm a singer, I'm a Harley Davidson enthusiast. I have a little dabble at art now and then, dabble of creative writing, but science, not my thing, not my thing at all. I leave that to the scientists. And that is what I'm requesting that all these armchair scientists also do. So what I say, and this is my opinion and mine only, and this is my channel, and I'm just expressing my opinion, and you can take it if you want, you can leave it if you want. I shall think no less of you if you leave it, and I'm not going to judge you if you just diss it. But I think everybody should get jabbed. Everybody should take steps to fighting off this coronavirus bullshit, which has been integrated into our lives for the last, I don't know, it's got to be kicking on 2 years now, 18 months, maybe more. Get your jabs, get your passports, if that's the way they're going, guys. If they're arguing about it now already, chances are, right, the vaccine passport is happening, all right? It's the thing, okay? The bulb has already gone off, all right? It's already in the process. They've probably already printed them, all right? They're probably there. There's probably one there with your name on it just waiting for you. So just take the passport, give us some freedom, allow things to open back up, and allow us to all just get on with our bloody lives. People are arguing the toss, saying, well, it's breaching my human rights. Let me tell you about human rights. Let me tell you what human rights are. Human rights are the taxpayer, that's you, them, and me, the taxpayer paying thousands upon thousands, maybe millions upon millions of pounds to keep murderers, rapists, pedos, and other dangerous criminals, to keep them alive in 4 walls, a bed, comfortable temperature, 3 square meals a day, etc. That's human rights. So human rights can basically kiss my ass as far as I'm concerned. Let's just get back to normal, guys. Let's just think back 2 years, all right? Think how great life was in comparison to the life that we got right now. Before we had them silly masks, before we had them silly lockdowns, before we were subjected to 4 walls and a roof on our very own. Let's just get jabbed. Let's just get the hell out there. Let's get our passports, which we're likely already having, and let's just all get on with our lives. This is the opinion of the Cayman. This is the Cayman Show channel. If you agree with me, God bless you. If you don't, God bless you also. Opinions are like noses after all, and everybody's got one.